Hi there everyone, in this lesson we're going to be making these knitted wristlets. They're very easy to make, it's also cabled. I've got the matching hat. I'm not sure which one is going to be up first, but this is what we're making in this lesson, the wristlets. And very easy to make. We're not doing them in a round, we're going to do them straight and then just sew it down the side and leave a space for our thumb. But that's what we're going to do, so let's go ahead and begin. Alright, so this is what our wristlet actually looks like. It's very easy to make, it's not hard. You can make yours as long as you want or as short as you want and as much ribbing as you like, but that's what it looks like. So what we're going to be using a size 8 knitting needle, which is a 5mm knitting needle, and I'm using a row counter, which just helps. And we're going to be using a medium 4 yarn. This is the Karen Simply Soft. So if you're familiar with that, you can use this. So yeah, that's what we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. You might want to get yourself a cable needle. This is a thick one, but a thinner one. I'm going to be showing you how to do it without a cable needle. But you might find it easier with a cable needle. It's up to you. It's a little tricky without a cable needle, to be honest, but it's not hard. I'll show you how to do it, but then you can choose what you want to do. So anyway, let's go ahead and start. Alright, so to begin our project, now I'm not showing you how to knit in, I'm assuming that you do know how to knit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn and we're just going to halve it, and I'm just going to cast on with the long tail. So I'm going to just do it this way, and we are going to be casting on 40 stitches. So as long as you have 40, you'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine on, and you can go ahead and cast on 40 stitches, and then I will meet you back. So once you have your 40 stitches cast on, all that we're going to be doing is we're going to do 10 rows of ribbing. So that's what we're going to do. Now if you don't know how to rib or how to knit, I do have some videos up showing you how to knit and how to do the rib. So they should be in the box below, and you can just have a look there and then see how to knit. Because this, I'm not teaching you here, I'm just showing you how to do the project. Anyway, so your first stitch is going to be knit. So you're going to knit one. Whoops. You're going to knit the first one, and then you're going to pull the second one. And this is row 1. Then you're going to knit and pull, and that's all that you're going to do. You're just going to knit one, pull one, knit one, pull one. When you knit, you need to have your yarn in the front. When you pull, bring your yarn back and go into the stitch that way and yarn over. And then to knit, you put your yarn back to the front. Pull, you put your yarn this side facing you, and knit, you put the yarn away from you. And that's what you're going to do. So you're going to be doing this for 10 rows. So I'm not going to do each row with you because it's all the same. I'll do the end part and the beginning part of the next one, just in case you're confused as to which stitch to start with. So I'm going to just do mine, knit one, pull one, and I'll meet you when I get to the end of this. I'm coming to the end of this row, and I will be ending off with a knit, a pull, a knit, and a pull. Now because I finished with a pull, I start the next row with a knit. So I start with the opposite stitch. So that was pull, so I'm going to start with a knit. And I'm going to just change my rows to row 2. And then I'm going to knit. So it's a knit one and then pull one. And really the real basics, you're doing a knit on top of a knit and a pull on top of a pull. So you can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do 10 rows, and then I will meet you after my 10th row. Well, on row 10 we're increasing, so I'll meet you on row 10, and then we'll increase 4 stitches across row 10. So I will meet you back now. Alright, so I've completed row 9. Now on row 10 we're going to increase 4 stitches, but you want to do it fairly evenly. So I'm going to do one here, one there, and one there. I'm not telling you how many to do, you just want to put 4 evenly across. Usually a pattern would say, if you had a pattern, increase 4 stitches evenly across the next row. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing. So you're going to keep your knitting, your rib, knit, purl, and I'm going to increase on a knit stitch. So this is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. Now I'm going to increase on the next one, and I'm just going to put my stitch in there, go over, bring it through. Now don't take this off. I'm going to come back into the same stitch but the back of the stitch, and then you knit your stitch. And that's how I'm doing it. I'll do the rest with you. Then it's going to be purl and knit. I'm just going to do a few so that I get close to the center, so I can do the second one. Let me just get them, and I'll show you how to do it again. Okay, knit, purl. Now I'm going to increase again on this one. So you're going to go into the knit and knit like you were going to and bring it through. Now once you've brought it through, lift it up a bit, and you're going into the back of the same stitch. Okay, there's the back of it. You're just going to bring it over like that and go into that stitch and knit it. And then you've just put 2 on your needle, and then you can take this one off. Okay, and you've just increased on that one as well. Let me go a little bit further in, and I'll make another one. Purl, knit, purl. Now the next one I'm going to increase again. So go in, knit your stitch just till it's up to here. Go into the back of this stitch like that and knit it. And you should have 2 stitches on there instead of just the one. Okay, and then I've got one more to do, and I'll do that right before we finish this row. And then you have your beginning rib completed with 4 stitches on. So now you should end up with 44 stitches. So instead of 40, you should have 44 now. Okay, I'm going to increase on this next one, purl and then knit. Okay, in there, knit, bring it through, come to the back of the same stitch and knit it. Alright, purl, knit and purl. Alright, now we want to start with our cables. So let me show you how we start that. Alright, so our cables are going to be consisting of 6 rows. And I've got a stitch marker. It's just easier if you keep it, not a stitch, a row counter. And if you keep counting, it's just a little bit easier. So this is row 1. Now for row 1, you're going to start off with 3 purl. So row 1 consists of 3 purls, and then you're going to do 4 knits. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4 knits. Okay, 3 purl, 1, 2, 3 purl, and then 4 in the knits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's what you can do all the way. 1, 2, 3 knit, and be careful of the ones that you increased. Sorry, 3 purl and 4 knit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be careful of the ones that you increase, because they tend to want to just fall off your needle sometimes. So just be careful of that. Okay, 3 purl, 1, 2, 3 purl, and 4 knit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to keep doing that all the way. 1, 2, 3 purl, 4 knits. 1, 2, 3, 4 knit, 3 purl, 1, 2, 3 purl, 4 knits, 1, 2, 3, 4 knits, and now your last 2 are going to be purled, not 3, just the last 2 will be purled. Okay, so it's purl 3, knit 4 all the way until you get to the last 2 and you purl the last 2. Okay, then for row 2, you're going to do 2 knit, 4 purl, 3 knit, 4 purl. So you're doing the same thing but just the opposite. Okay, so you're going to do your first 2 will be knitted. So knit 2. Okay, knit 2, and then you're going to do 4 purls. Okay, the 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 purls, and then you're going to knit. Then you're going to knit 3. Then you're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3 knits. Oops, and then 4 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4 purls, and then it's 3 knits again. And you're going to do this all the way down. 1, 2, 3 knit, 4 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4 purl, and then 3 knits. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 knits. Now the only thing that you might get confused with is on this side where we're either ending off with 2 purls or we're starting with 2 knits, but then the rest is going to be 3 and 4. 4 purls, 3 knit, 4, 3, 4, 3, and this one will end off with your let's see what we actually end off with. That was 3 knits next. 1, 2, 3 knits, 4 purl, 1, 2, 3, 4 purl, 1, 2, 3 knits, 4 purl, 1, 2, 3, 4 purl, and then you're ending off with knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that was row 2. Now for row 3, you're going to do, row 3 is going to be the same as row 1, and you can kind of follow. You can basically follow what you did before because you can see what you did. On top of the purls, you got a purl. On top of the knits, you got a knit. So for row 3, you're going to do purl 3, 1, 2, 3 purls, and then you're going to knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to purl 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to knit 4. And you can see you're starting to get a bit of a pattern. So now it's knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then purl 3. And then this row is ending off with your 2 purls. Not with 3, but with 2. Okay, so go all the way. Do your 3 purls, 4 knit, 3, 4 knit, and then end off with your 2 purls over there. Okay, so you can go ahead and do that, and then I will meet you back here for number 4, row 4. Right, so you're ending off with 2 purls. Okay, now we're going to go on to row 4. Now row 4 is the same as row 2. So I'm going to move that to row 4, and that's going to be the same as row 2. You start off with your 2 knit, and then you're going to do, and you can see there 4 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4 purls, and then you're going to do your 3 knits. 1, 2, 3 knits, and then you're going to do your 4 purl. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do our knits again. So for this row, which is your row 4, it's the same as row 2, and you're doing 4. You started off with 2 knits, 4 purl, 3 knit, 4 purl, 3 knit, 4 purl, go all the way, and you're going to end off with 3 knits. So you can do that, and I will meet you back on row 5. Alright, so this is our cable row, row 5. Now, I'm going to first show you how to do it with your cable needle, then I'll show you how to do it the other way. Once again, just follow your stitches. You're going to cable over these 4 stitches, these 4 knit stitches. These 3 will keep being pulled, and where you see there's only 2 at the end there, just do the 2, and on this side it's 2 knits. Okay, so this is where you're going to be doing your cable over these 4 knitted stitches. So the first 3 are just pulled, so you can see that 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to take your cable needle and you're going to slip the first 2 off, and you're going to put that in the back of your work, just like that. Put it in the back of your work, and then you're going to knit this stitch over here. You're going to knit this one, and you're going to knit the next one. Okay, then you're going to take these and you're going to knit these. Make sure that they're staying the way that they are on the needle, and they're facing the work like this. Okay, and then you're going to knit these. Knit this first one and knit the next one. Okay, then you can take it off. Okay, and then you're going to pull the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, put your yarn to the front, to the back. Put your yarn on this side of your needle, and then you're going to slip stitch these 2 on here. Put it to the back, slip those 2 on to the back, and then knit these 2 from your needle, from your knitting needle, 1, 2, and then you're going to come and knit these 2 that are on here. Make sure that they are straight this way, and you're just going to knit them. And that's all that you do. Okay, let me do another one with you. Okay, now you're going to pull the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Put your yarn to the front. Take your cable needle, slip these 2 on your cable needle. Put them to the back. Now, some cables you put to the front. That's why I say put it to the back there. Okay, knit 2. Then knit the 2 on your cable. Let's pull them that side and knit these 2. Whoops. And that is all that you do. Okay, and then you're going to pull these 3. Okay, and that's how you work it on your cable needle. Now, if you don't want to use a cable needle, I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to leave your yarn over here. If you don't know how to do this, watch it again for those 3 and just see how to do it again, because there is a little bit of a knack to it. Anyway, leave your yarn here. Now you're going to slip these 2 on here. Now when I slip mine on, I loosen them, and you'll see why now. So I just pull them like that, so they're pretty loose. And remember, your yarn is this side. When you were doing it with a cable needle, you had to put your yarn that side. So it's over here. And you're going to knit these 2. And your yarn is going to come over those 2. You're going to knit these 2. Now, these 2 that you had slipped, this stitch and this stitch you knitted, and that's the yarn that's over. These are the 2 that were slipped on. You're going to come to the back of your work. Okay, you're going to come to the back, they're the 2, and you're going to pick them up with this needle. And this is why I stretch them out, because this is where it's a little tricky. You're going to pick them up with this needle here. Now, you're going to take all of these off your hook, off your needle. Okay, you're going to take them all off, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to come back and pick these 2 up, just like that. I'll do it with you again. And then you're going to knit these 2. So I say I don't know which one you will find easier. Whichever one you find easier, that's what you want to do. Okay, and then you're going to pull 1, 2, 3. So let me do this one again. I can do another 2 with you. Okay, so make sure that your yarn is here where you pulled. Okay, slip these 2 off purl-wise, and look, I'm stretching them. Stretch them a little bit first. It makes a big difference in picking them up. Knit your next 2. 1, 2. I put my yarn here so that it's out my way when I'm working here. Those are the 2 we knitted. This is the yarn. These are the 2 that I want to get under. So you're going to come in from the back, and you're going to get under. See, and this is where it gets tricky at times. To me, sometimes the cable needle is quicker. That's why I stretch them out. There, and I've caught both of them there. Okay, you catch them. Now, I used to hold on to this, but holding on to this made me pull this stitch out. So don't hold on to your thread. Let go. Hold all of these and be careful. This is where you've got to be very careful that you don't pull all the other stitches out. Get that off, and these are the 2 that you want. Don't worry about anything else there. Those are the two you want to pick up again. Bring this yarn back to your knit position and knit these two that were slipped. You're doing the exact same thing as you're doing with a cable needle, except you're just not using the cable needle. And then you purl 3. Okay, let me do it with you one more time. I have one more cable left. Okay, leave your yarn in the purl position. Stretch number 1, stretch number 2. Knit the next 2. 1, 2. I put my yarn over here so it's out my way. Those are the two. These are the two I knitted. This is the yarn over there, and then these are the two that I need. Come behind your work, right over here, and come under. You're picking up that stitch. So you've got these 2 stitches on there. Okay, take all of this off. Hold all of this here and pull it all off. Just be careful. Pull all this off. And then these are the 2 stitches. Oops. You pull it all off, and these are the 2 stitches that you want to put back on your needle. Okay, and then you knit, put this back in the knit position and then knit 2. It sounds worse than what it is, and it might look harder, but it's really not that bad. Okay, and then you pull your next 2. And that's both ways to do your cable, and it gives you the exact same effect. It just depends on which one you find easier to do. So if you're unsure, watch this video again just to be sure that you know how to do this, because this is pretty important. And anyway, so let's do row 6, and remember, don't forget row 6, very important. Row 6 is going to be the same as row 2, which is knit 2, 4 purl, 3 knits. So I'm going to knit my first 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to do your purls. You got 4 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a little odd because this is where you used your cable. Okay, then it's 3 knit. 1, 2, 3 knit, and then you got your 4 purls again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And same thing, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4 purls. And you do that all the way. And this is what your back is looking like, and this is what your front looks like. You can see you've just twisted your stitches over to form your cable over there. And those are the 6 rows that you repeat over and over. Those are the rows that you're repeating over. I did 3 twists, so 1, 2, 3 of those twists, and that's the inside of my wristlet, just 3 of those twists, and then I'll show you how to do the rest of this. But go ahead and do that. Make sure that you've got 3 of these. Now if you don't want to have ribbing at the end, you can cable all the way to the top. You'd probably get another 2 in here, and then you can finish off, but it's up to you how you want to actually set yours about. So go ahead and do this, and then I will meet you once I've done my 3rd one. I'll meet you and show you how to finish. This is really up to you. If you want to do more cables, you can, but I've just done 1, 2, 3 turns, so 3 of the cables, and now I'm going to finish mine off by doing some rib. And I finished off with row 6, so I did row 6 over there. Now this would be row 1 again, so I'm going to just do this row in knit. After you've got your 3, the very next row we're going to do our 1 row in just plain knit, because we're going to decrease the 4 that we had made. Once again, you're going to just split it up, so you don't want them sitting right on top of each other. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to slip 1, I'm going to knit 1, and then I'm going to pull the slip stitch over, and that's how I'm going to decrease. Okay, and that was number 1, and it actually works very well if you do it where you had your cable right over here on this stitch. I'll do it again with you, but that's how you're going to do. So that was number 1. So remember, you're just knitting. So that was the first one, because we want to decrease 4. So I'm just going to knit till I get to near the middle. There's no, as I said, there's no set way to decrease. Okay, now because I want to go onto this cable over here, I'm going to slip this first one. Okay, so I'm just going to slip this first one, and then I'm going to knit this one over here, then I'm going to pull the slip stitch over. And it works pretty well by your cable, you don't really see it. And that's really where it works the best. But as I say, it doesn't matter where you do it. You can slip one and knit one and then pull the next one over. It doesn't matter where. Okay, so I'm going to do, no, I'll go to my next cable here to do the next one. You just want to do them fairly evenly. And I'll show you what it looks like if you don't do it where I just did it. In other words, if you just wanted to do one, you could just do it over here. Slip one there, knit one and pull the slip stitch over. I'm just doing it by the cables because you don't see it as well, but it makes no difference. It looks just as good. So that was number 3. I got one more to do. Okay. So I'll do one more. And then on the next row we're going to start with our, so I'm going to slip this one and then I'm going to knit this one and pull the slip stitch over. That's my 4th one. So I've now decreased the 4 that I had increased in my stitches. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. It's not making a major difference. Okay, so that was just the row. Now I'm going to go ahead and do 10 rows of ribbing. So I'm going to just put my stitch mark, put my row counter onto 1, and I'm going to start with my ribbing. So once again, you're just going to start with a knit and a pull. Then you're going to do a knit and a pull, and that's all that you're going to do. And you're going to go ahead and do 10 rows of that, and then I'm going to show you how we sew our work together. And yeah, so that's all. You're going to knit one, pull one, knit one, pull one, exactly the same as you did on your beginning part over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back when I've finished with it. Right, so once you've done 9 rows, we're going to cast off on our very last row. We're going to bind off our work on row 10. Now this once again is up to you. If you don't want to have so much rib, you could have continued with one more of these cables and just done a small rib. If you want to make your whole wristlet longer, you can do that too. It's up to you. This is just the way I'm doing it, so it's up to you as to how you want to do yours. But to bind off, you're going to, and you should have your right side facing you now, depending on how you did it. But if you're following me, so to bind off, you're going to just knit the first 2 stitches. Then you're going to take this very first one and you're going to pull it over that one. Then you're going to knit one, and you're going to pull this one off over there. And you're going to do this the whole way. Knit one, pull one over. Knit one, pull one over. And that's how we're going to just bind off our work. So that's all you do. Just knit, just knit one and pull this first one over. And that's how it's going to look. You want to do it not too tight, but don't go too loose either. You want a good bind off. And yeah, so that's all that you're going to do. And then you're going to make another one of these. You want to have 2 of these done exactly the same, so that we can have them identical on each hand. And yeah, so go ahead and do that. Make another one, and I'm going to show you how we're going to sew them up to finish off our project. So I will meet you once I've completed mine, and I will show you how we finish our project. When you're ready to stitch yours up, I've already started stitching this one. I leave a long thread on the end of my work just so that I can use it. You want to be sure that your thumb, however long you want us to do, but up to here, this is where you're going to sew. So wherever you want your thumb to be, you're going to sew up to there. And then you're going to leave a spot, and then you're going to sew down the bottom. So, you know, there's no set way to sew. I'm catching both of these 2 stitches. Well, it's 1 stitch, but I'm catching the whole thing. And then I'm just sewing down until I reach a good place for my thumb. And mine is more or less 1.5 to 2 inches down. That's 1.5. So I'm going to go to about 2 inches. So I'm going down a little bit further. And then you're just going to leave that spot open. Just be sure that your work is continually even. In other words, this keeps lining up. So you're not taking more from one side. And I have got my two right sides facing. Sorry, I meant to tell you that. So just open it up like this and turn it inside out like that, and you're sewing inside out. And that's really all that you're doing. And I think that should be long enough. And you can put your hand in and see. In other words, if I put mine in here, that's where I'm happy for my wrist to be. So that's good. I can now stop. Then you're just going to skip over a portion, and then you're going to come back here. And as to how much you're skipping over, really depends on you. Here I've made a crocheted one, and it's the same length. See, that's about 2 inches there, and I've left about 1 3/4 inches. So, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to bring my thread along here. I'm not cutting it off. I'm just going to bring it along the one side, just so that I don't have to restart this. And as I say, yeah, go down about 1 3/4 inches. It depends on your hand, you know. But I think that's more or less, if you want it looser or tighter, however you want it. I think that's pretty good. Because now I'm going to start sewing it again over there. Yeah, if you want a bigger hole, just go down further. Just try it on all the time and see. I think this is pretty good. And now I'm going to just start sewing again. Just be sure that you're ending equally. So now I can start over here and sew this portion up here. And that's all that there is to it. And then you should have your wristlet finished. I just keep being sure that my sides are ending up equally, because sometimes you take more from the one side than the other. And then I will sew that in, but I'm just catching it so it's not right at the bottom there. And as long as you finish equally, you're going to be okay. Alright, and that's it. And then you can just sew this thread in. I just sew it throughout my work. And you can turn this inside out, and then I come back and then we'll sew that in as well. And then you just turn it inside out, and there you have your wristlet. And you do both of them the same. Okay, I could have come in a little bit closer, but it doesn't really matter. It's pretty good. I'll just use my thread. And yeah, that's all that you do. So yeah, if you want yours a little bit tighter, you can always sew them closer to each other. It doesn't matter. Just sew more stitches here. But yeah, that's your wristlet. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.